Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing great today. Today's video is a little bit like spontaneous. It wasn't like planned. I basically was going through my makeup and decided to use products that I don't normally use. So I thought, I might as well just film this. So that's what we're doing. And it is spontaneous because I've already done my eyebrows and concealed my eyelids and cleaned up my eyebrows. So the first bit is kind of already done, but I normally start my videos like this anyway, so it don't really matter. But I just used the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, and I just used my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade because it's my favourite. But yeah, let's start the video. So for foundation, I'm going in with an oldie but a goodie. I will be using the Revlon Colour Stay 24-hour wear combination to oily foundation. This was literally brand new in my makeup drawers, so it literally had all the like sealed packaging still on it. I'd literally brought it and just never used it. I used to love this, and then I just found other foundations that I liked a bit more, but this stuff, if you've not tried this stuff is so good and it smells amazing. So I just used the shade 150 Buff. It's not the lightest shade, it's the next one up because it's more yellow toned and it matches my skin tone a little bit better, but it is a tiny bit dark. So let's just start putting this all over my face. Oh, I honestly love the smell of this foundation. And we're just going to start buffing that into the skin. I forgot how good the coverage was of this foundation. And then as always, I'm going to go over the top of it with my Real Technique sponge. Just pat all that foundation in and make sure there's no excess laying on top of the skin. So that's the foundation. It's not as full coverage as I quite remember it. It's got really good coverage, but it's just not as good as new products that I've found, which is probably why I stopped using it. The primers that I used was the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer, and then my Nip and Fab Primer Water. I actually love this stuff, and I've never used this either. I brought it to test it and never used it. It's just been sat in the packaging waiting for me. It's not as good as like Benefit Professional, but it did the job. It's not my fave, but it's alright. So now we're just going to conceal all the places that we usually would, and like I said earlier, I'm using the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer in the shade Lemon 1. I'm sure this is supposed to be like a colour correcting primer. Don't know what's wrong with me today. Yeah, I'm sure this is supposed to be a colour correcting concealer, but I think I brought it because it helped to brighten up my under eye. I can't quite remember because I have used so many concealers since I used this. I know I used to love this stuff because it was so cheap and so good for the price, but obviously I've just found new things that I like more. And then we're just going to bounce that in with a smaller sponge. So now that that's all blended out, I'm going to be using the Revlon Photo Ready Pressed Powder. Mine's in the shade 10 Fair. It comes with a little brush, but honestly I never use these. And yeah, we're just going to set all of this in place. So now the concealer is set, I'm just going to go in with a bigger brush and set the rest of my face. I actually didn't notice this powder has a little mirror at the top, so you can actually use that. It's really small, but it does the job. Again, I've actually never used this powder. I brought it to test out and it's just remained in its packaging waiting for me to use it. So now that we're all set in place, I'm not actually going to know how good that powder is until I see like how long it lasts throughout the day, but it feels really nice. It feels like it has set all my foundation and concealer in place. Nothing feels sticky or tacky. I'm not sure if it actually gave me a little bit of coverage, nothing drastic, but it kind of felt like it did. So next up we need to bronze, and I'm going to be using the Revolution Ultra Sculpt and Contour Kit Ultra Fierce CO1. I'm not actually sure if you can still get this because it is by Makeup Revolution and not Revolution, but again, I brought this and never used it. It still had the packaging on, so yeah, I'm just gonna give this a go. Obviously just going to be taking the end shade, the bronzing shade, and I'm going to use that to bronze. Not sure how pigmented this is, so I'm going to be a little bit careful. Okay, so it actually looks quite pigmented, but it kind of blends out easy, so not too mad at it. Okay, so that actually has like quite a nice amount of pigment. However, it's like a little bit too pigmented for me because I actually prefer bronzers that go on kind of sheer so that I can build them up as dark as I like them, because I feel like on fairer skin you just need like a sheerer bronzer. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that bronzer. It's a little bit too dark for me and it doesn't really blend out that well. It blends out nicely. I feel like if I went in with a lighter hand and maybe a little bit less product, I might have liked it a bit more, but it's not something I will be reaching for. I just have better bronzers than this, unfortunately. There is a highlighter and a blusher in that palette, however I want to use something else. I'm going to be using the Pro HD Amplified palette by Revolution for my blusher and my highlighter. I'm pretty sure you can still get this by Revolution. I did get it when it was still Makeup Revolution, but I'm pretty sure you can still get it. If you can still get all of these items I'm using, I will link them down below. I think I'm actually going to take this shade here, which is Poser, just as like a lighter blusher today. I feel like something a little bit light, and this one is matte. So let's just go to town. That's actually a really pretty blusher. I really like that. I think the only reason I stopped using this palette was because it was so big that I can't bring it with me anywhere. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why I stopped using this palette, because I really like this blusher and I'm sure the highlighters are going to be bomb because Revolution do such good highlighters. So that's blusher. I'm actually really happy with that. Now for highlighter, I mean, to be fair, the only one I could really use is this one here, and it's super white, but that's what we're gonna go for. This highlighter is actually so nice. I feel like I do definitely have better highlighters from Revolution now though, but honestly that is just like, it's just beaming, you know. And then for a shimmery bronzer, I think I'm just going to use this shade here, which is Yas, which is like a shimmer brick, and we're just going to go to town on this. Mix all the shades together. I'm just going to pat some of it off just so that it's not too dark. Oh, that's nice. It is kind of dark for me, but I'm not mad. Like, that is so nice. That is honestly stunning. Wow. I bet that highlighter looks beaut on deeper skin tones. Just going to quickly bounce over that a little bit with my sponge just to kind of dim down a bit of that colour because it is a little bit dark. Bam! I still really love this palette, but I do feel like it's just too big and I just have other palettes that I like more. So that one gets used like barely never now, poor thing. And now we're gonna do some eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the I Heart Makeup Chocolate Orange palette. I'm sure that you can still get this palette, but it's just under a different brand name now because obviously Revolution changed all of its names around. So if you can get it, I will link it down below. And I just dipped into this shade here as my transition shade. kind of powdery, this shade, but oh god damn, wow. We got some pigment, boys and girls. Blending out really nicely too. I thought it was going to be a slightly more like, not yellow tone, but a little bit less orange, if that makes any kind of sense. Like a mustard colour was the colour I was kind of expecting this to come out like, but I'm not mad at that. I really like this shade. So I just went off and did the other eye. I'm really happy with that shade. I really like it. It is a really powdery palette though, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not getting any like fallout, so I'm not too mad about it. Yeah, that shade was beautiful, blended out so easily. I did build it up a little bit. I did like dip back into it twice, but it's like a cheaper palette, so to be fair, you kind of expect it. But now I'm just going to go in with this slightly more ready toned orange shade, and yeah, I'm just going to use that in the outer corner. And actually, I think I'll do it on the inner corner too, and we'll just do like a halo eye. Oh, that's a nice shade. I really like that colour. Wow. That's a bit of me. I'm really happy with that. They blended into each other so nicely as well. I'm just actually going to dip back into the orange shade I used. Just bring some of that back in and blend out the edges of that darker shade. I really like that. So again, went off camera, did the other eye, and I'm really happy with that. Those two shades blended in together so easily. They're so easy to work with. I actually love like Revolution and Revolution's like sister brands. I really love their eyeshadow palettes. I feel like they're so good, and for the money, like, you can't really complain. I don't really like any of the shimmers in this palette, so I'm actually going to go back and use my highlighter and blusher palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade Extra as my middle shimmer shade. Completely forgot where I was going with that, so I'm just going to pat this on the brush. As always, I'm going to wet it, then we're going to put this in the centre of our lid. Oh my god, yes, I actually love that. Living for that. I'm in love with that. So glad I decided to do that. So I just went off camera, finished off the eyes, and yeah, I completely forgot to film it, but I just did my under eyes. I just used the slightly more mustardy orange shade just underneath. But now I'm going to use this longer shadow here for my inner corner highlight, my brow bone, and also my cupid's bow. Completely forgot what it was called. Ooh, pretty. I actually love that. 10 out of 10. So that is actually everything for like products I don't use all the time, products like I kind of forgot about, or products that I've just never used before. So I'm just quickly going to whiz through the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to conclude the video. And this is the finished look. I feel like I really found some gems in here that I'd completely forgot all about. I'll just quickly go through the things that I don't think I'll be using again. This Revlon Photo Ready Primer, I'm not the biggest fan of. It did like an okay job, but I feel like I've got better, so no, not the biggest fan of this. The concealer, I like it. I feel like it does brighten my under eyes, but I don't like the formula of it anymore. I feel like the Revolution ones are they're just so much better, and they've got a much better colour range too. So this one was kind of still a no for me. I don't think I'll be reaching for it anytime soon. The bronzer in this palette, I really don't think I'll be reaching for this. I just have palettes that I'm able to get a nicer finish with, and I'm just so used to them, and this was just, it was like too pigmented for me. I just didn't really enjoy it. This was kind of a bit of a flop for me, so I don't think I'll be reaching for this again either. I love this foundation. I just feel like I prefer more of a full coverage now, but to be fair, this, when I'm having like a really good skin day, I feel like this I will probably reach for. I've loved this foundation for so long, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Now for the little gems. So this eyeshadow palette I absolutely love. Like, I'm absolutely loving this eyeshadow, to be honest. The shades that I used were gorgeous, and obviously it smells like chocolate orange. It literally smells like Terry's chocolate orange, and I love it. I really do hope that you can still get this from Revolution. If you can, I will link it down below, because it is such a good palette, and for the price point, it's a steal. This is still such a good palette. It's just too big. The shades in here are beautiful. It's got like something for everybody. I do feel like it is a good palette if you have like access to your makeup. Like, it's not just in a makeup bag. Like, say you have drawers or something and you go in and you pick stuff every day, then this 100% go and get it. If you have like a makeup bag and that's what you use to do your makeup, then probably not, because just look at the size of it. You would not be able to bring this out with you. But it is a really good palette, and I still do love it. I just don't feel like I'll be reaching for it as much, but it is a really good palette. I actually really like this setting powder too. I feel like it gave me a little bit of coverage, and my face feels so like smooth, and it looks amazing. So I really do like this. I feel like I found a little gem. And then last but not least, the Morphe matte liquid lipstick. I absolutely love these. I'd completely forgot how much I loved the formula of these lipsticks. They're like, they are genuinely like really matte. So if you have got like quite crusty lips, make sure that you put some lip balm on beforehand. Let it really like soak in and penetrate into your lips so that you haven't got any dry skin. And then yeah, go to town, mate, because this ain't budging. It is like completely matte, not gonna transfer. And the smell of these, oh my god, the smell, it literally smells like cocoa butter and vanilla. I'm living for the smell of this. So that was everything for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I like going through my makeup and picking out things that I don't usually use all the time, because I do have a fair bit of makeup, and it's always nice to just play around with new things and old things that you completely forgot about. Let me know if you like this look, because I really do. I do wish I'd changed like the lip colour. I wish it was like more of like a pale nude and not like a pinky nude, but oh well. I still love it nevertheless. Let me know if any of the products that I used you love as well, or some of the products that I don't love. Let me know about that too, because obviously we all have different skin types. Might work for you but not work for me. Make sure that you leave me a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video. Share it to your friends if you feel like they'll enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. When I couldn't stop it at the time, Dad tried to flip the house. Funny that it all ended upside down. Known for being optimistic, started